You know, by the end of the 1970 Eagles were nearing their first decade success, but little did we know that just in a short time the band would no longer be forever. But this song is one of the biggest rockers in Eagles history, and it was a combination of Henley and Fry, Bob Seger, and J.D. Souther. Heartache Tonight. Now it's recorded by the Eagles. It features Glenn Fry on lead vocals. The track was included in their album The Long Run and released as a single in '79. It went to number one the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 in November that year and was certified platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, representing 1 million copies sold. It was the Eagles' final chart-topping song on the Hot 100. The song originated from an electric jam session between Fry and Souther, who would visit Glenn's home in L.A. whenever he was in town on tour. Fry and Souther wrote the first verse while listening to Sam Cooke songs. In the heat of jamming, Fry called Bob Seger on the phone and sang him the verse. Seger then blurted out the chorus. According to Fry, J.D. Souther, Don and I finished the song up. No heavy lyrics. The song is more of a romp, and that's what it was intended to be. The song was covered by country music singer John Anderson as a tribute album. Common Thread, the songs of the Eagles by Michael Bublé on his album Crazy Love, and by Tom Jones on his 1980s TV show. Now, Bob said, Heartache Tonight started with me and Glenn in his house. I was playing bass and he was playing guitar. He had this little thing, somebody's going to hurt somebody. We wanted to write a shuffle. So we're playing that groove and Glenn singing the verses, and suddenly out of the blue, the chorus came into my head. There's going to be a heartache tonight, I know. I started singing that and Glenn goes, yeah. I took what he was singing about and jumped right into the chorus. Then Glenn called Joe Walsh. Now it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Walsh gets up and comes down and starts playing guitar in it, and he comes up with the bridge. J.D. Souther came in right after Walsh the same night. He'd help Glenn with lyrics. The next day, Henley chirps in and goes, oh yeah, and he starts writing a lot of the lyrics. So that's how the song happened. Now, the single itself won the longest in Eagles history, 4 minutes and 25 seconds, of course, on Asylum. Now, the Long Run was the next single, which didn't do as well, but a lot of people, again, consider this their best rocker. Now, Billboard suggested that the Handicaps provided more of a young, vital sound than previous Eagles songs, and particularly praised the guitar break and the vocal harmonies. Cashbox said it was a party and country rock groove. Record World highlighted the slashing rhythm, big beat, wanting guitars, and Glenn Fry's tough vocals. The recording received a '79 Grammy-award for Best Rock Performance by a duo or group with vocal. Now again, Bob Seger did the backing vocals, not credited in the album liner notes. Glenn had lead vocals, rhythm guitar, and hand clapping. Don Henley was on drums and backing vocals. Joe Walsh was on slide guitar. Don Felder was on rhythm guitar. And Timothy B. Schmidt was on bass and backing vocals. Now it hit number 13 in Australia, number 22 in Belgium. In Canada, on the top singles RPM, number 1. Ireland, number 10. Netherlands, number 20. New Zealand, number 7. Switzerland, number 10. UK singles, number 40. US Billboard Hot 100, number 1. And Adult Contemporary. Year-end charts for '79, Canada was number 28. And US top pop singles was number 47. Now, ironically, the Conway Twitty version that came out also did quite well. The B side of this was "Hello, Darlin'" for Crazy Reasons. Now, it was revived again 4 years later by Twitty, released as the second single from his Lost in the Feeling album. Twitty's version reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot Singles charts in the fall of '83. Now, Twitty's version featured, get this, the Osmond Brothers on backing vocals. AllMusic reviewer Tom Jurek wrote that Heartache Tonight and his follow-up single, 3 Times a Lady, offered a solid view of Twitty's amazing crossover potential and his ability to take well-known pop tracks and turn them into solid country smashes long after the countrypolitan days of Chet Atkins and RCA. In addition to 3 Times a Lady, a cover song by the Commodores, he had successfully covered Slow Hand and The Rose, previously popular hits for the Pointer Sisters and Bette Midler. Now, in the Canadian RPM country tracks, it was number 3, so it was a bigger hit in Canada. Now, the Warner Brothers version, 417, but the Eagles version again, 425, back with Teenage Jail. Now, the lyrics for Heartache Tonight, again, it's almost like a plea for understanding why a person is so obsessed uh, uh, about somebody. Now, it's very, very simple lyrics, and we'll go over to a second. Again, somebody's going to hurt someone before the night is through. Someone's going to come undone. There's nothing we can do. Everybody wants to touch somebody if it takes all night. Everybody wants to take a little chance, make it come out right. And it goes there, heartache tonight. Some people like to stay out late. Some folk can't hold out that long. But nobody wants to go home now. There's too much going on. This night is going to last forever, last all summer long. Sometime before the sun comes up, the radio is going to play that song. No, so it was a big, again, a summer hit. And I think why it really worked with the fans is because it was not, say, a dumb song, but it was a very simple song that everybody can understand. Ironically, ladies and gentlemen, it was released in September '79. You would think this would be more of a summer single released in July, but again, by the time the summer of 1980 rolled around, it was getting, more consistent play, and it did hit number one. Now, to my knowledge, I think it was also used in different TV and movie shows at the time. And I think basically Bob Seger, which obviously Against the Wind was coming up, they were getting more collaborations with Bob and the Eagles. Now, Bob Seger I consider him an unofficial member of the Eagles alumni, but that type of rocking. But, it's kind of weird, Bob Seger being kind of a Detroit artist and the Eagles being West Coast. But Heartache Tonight, again, what really works for a lot of people, having somebody as talented as Timothy B. Schmidt in the band too as well. Now, the last, I think, A-track that Eagles ever put out was Heartache Tonight. I had a copy of The Long Run. I picked it up, I think, in the early 2000s, but I do remember this as one of the last 8 tracks that the Eagles had put out. So that's part of it. So again, the last number one single for the Eagles, which kind of started in the early 70s into the late 70s. But like I said, this song was on the charts literally towards a year, because by the time of the second summer of the single, like in the summer of 1980, people got into it. And this was kind of a kickback against the disco and the manufactured rock. Like Rolling Stones had gone kind of disco, so did Yellow. A lot of former big band members had gone, disco. But like I said, this is not a disco song. This is a hard rocker. And I think overall, it's more of a North American song. I don't think people in England really got it as much as Canada and the U.S. Got it. So Heartache Tonight, again, someone had mentioned the post by Bob Seger Against the Wind. You all know where you were. You all knew where you were when Heartache Tonight came on, because the last of the 70s. This was the last gasp of that country rock that Mike Nesmith had started and the Eagles had perfected. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of the big Eagles single, Heartache Tonight. If you like what we're doing here with our Eagles tributes, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.